Hey guys, welcome back to Road to PVM Mastery, my progress series. So I'm Kavone, and we're going to sort of start with drop of the week. Now, I wasn't recording this kill. I was only able to turn on my software when I saw the loot. So yeah, I got another middle leg piece that makes 2 top, 2 middle, and no bottom. But what made this stand out compared to other drops I got this week, particularly in Gobble Dungeon 2, is the fact that I got Ceramic Scales and Sour Brews with it. So yeah, I also set a new Bandos record, a new personal best Bandos record this week. And I'm going to be doing a lot of sort of speed kills on bosses, hopefully, in the future. So yeah, this Bandos kill was 13 seconds. I did pre-adrenaline and I did adrenaline stall beforehand. Now, something that happened this week a lot is that I died a heck of a lot doing PVM. So I'm going to include a death counter because honestly it's you guys probably want to laugh every time I die to something stupid, I bet. So yeah. Well, that wasn't distracting in the slightest. That completely broke my flow, but it's gonna happen again. Honestly, guys, did that distract you from whatever you're doing? I didn't see it distracting me. Okay, so the big news I have this video. So obviously there's going to be a lot of Shattered Worlds. You're going to probably guess that from the title, and you're going to see that later on in the video. But I did a lot of sort of non-PVM stuff, and the reason for this is that I'm preparing for double XP weekend. That's number one, and this is why I'm doing Big Chinchompa for the tickets. I also did a quest, I did a quest. I also did clue scrolls. So I've been considering the future of this series and how I'm going to go forward from here, because honestly, I'm getting burnt out on PVM. I really am. And I don't think Insane Final Boss is, frankly, ever going to happen. It would be nice for it to happen, but I don't think it's ever going to happen. So for now, I'm actually lowering my ambitions to just trying to get Final Boss, which is 100 kills of every boss. I also do want to get some of the pets as well. So, yeah. The Hellweir pet, the Rax, and the Greg pet are the ones I'm actively grinding at the moment. And you're going to see I did a lot of God 102 this week. I did some on live stream as well. But effectively, so this series is sort of going to change a bit. It's still going to be PVM focused, but it's going to be a bit more than that. It's going to be a bit more than just PVM. I'm going to include some skilling, some alternate stuff like clue scrolls, like Big Chinchompa, some mini games, and the reason for this is that okay, so I can use the excuse that I need Max to do certain bosses. I need Maxscape to do next solo. So technically it's PVM, but the problem I've always had with having non-PVM content is when I create content, I always think, is this something I would want to watch? Is the content something I would find enjoyable? And most of the time, when it comes to skilling, the answer is no. It's not something I find enjoyable. So this is sort of why I don't include too much skilling. But I've given it a thought, and honestly, the only way I can see myself sort of continuing forward from here is to sort of include a bit of everything, not just PVM. I'm also gonna start reviewing like updates a bit more. So it's going to be a bit more podcasty, etc. And you'll see that at the end of this episode, there's going to be a large section of Shattered Worlds. I'm going to show some gameplay, my thoughts on it, etc. And yeah, so with that said, I must give a disclaimer that when it comes to updates, there will be opinions. And they will be my opinions that I say on the video. Obviously, everyone's got different opinions, and I respect that. But in my video, I'm showing my opinion. So, like, don't get offended or anything, don't get argumentatively. It's just how I personally feel, and you may feel differently. That's fair enough. So yeah, doing some clue scrolls. Wow, there it was again. It's almost as if someone's trying to either censor me or break up the video into separate sections. I wonder who might want to do that. So, yeah, I started doing Hard Mode Mole as well this week, and although I do want the pet because it's like, it ticks a box, basically, I find the pet hideous. Absolutely hideous. I do not want that pet for overrides of looks. I just want it to tick a box. So, having said that, the main motivation to doing Giant Mole is the ultra rapid growth potions, which are a 1-dose potion that drops from Giant Mole and Giant Mole only, and effectively they will remove 2 stages off a tree or a fruit tree. And this can basically, in double XP, this can allow you to fit in an extra farming run. So that's going to be very good for farming XP. So, yeah, that's sort of why I'm doing Giant Mole Hard Mode. Yeah, this is now me doing Twin Furies. I also made quite a considerable amount of GP this week. I got a lot of really good drops, just everywhere. And it's like, not massive drops, like I didn't get any 100 mil plus or like 50 mil plus. The highest I got was 20 mil, but they all do add up. And I'm basically going to be doing agility and mining for the most part during double XP, and I'm going to be using Silverhawk feathers to do agility, so that's going to be expensive. But yeah, so I was actually doing challenge mode of both Furies and Hellware, and I did challenge mode Vindicta, but I failed on that. I was experimenting a bit too much on challenge mode Vindicta, did not take enough food with me and couldn't finish the kill. So yeah, I tried to use sharks, I tried to not use Bruise and Rocktail's Head just to save costs, but it's like, Vindicta challenge mode is just a pain, and it's part of the motivation for me not to grind Insane Final Boss. I mean, Vitalis is probably the main motivation. That's just not happening soon. Also Legionnaires. But yeah, I had some good times at Greg and Hellware this week. As you're seeing on screen, I got a bunch of essences from both of them. I got a weapon from Greg. I got a crest from Hellware. So yeah, good Godboy Dungeon 2 this week. Oh, and I completed a Hydrix, so yeah, that's another bunch of money as well. So I was going to actually live commentate this bit, but in all my infinite wisdom, I didn't actually check to see if my microphone was muted or not. So I didn't record. Well, I was commenting, but my microphone was muted, so I have to do this post-commentary. So yeah, this might be a bit opinionated, this review on this minigame. So this is the update that came out this week. This has been posted. All this footage is pre-nerf. There was a problem with some of the higher level worlds. So the nerf is basically every minion now has your weapon basically has the accuracy of something that your opponent is weak to now, whereas it was like all neutral beforehand. So yeah, so basically the way you play this is it's basically a PVM gauntlet, and you have to clear 75% of the creeps on the world before you move on to the world. If you do this within a set amount of time, you can actually skip worlds, and every 5 worlds you're offered a chest. If you leave that chest and continue, your reward will be even bigger when you do open it. But I think if you die, you revert to like the previous chest or something. I did die during this, but I'm not sure what happened. I got put to the next chest, so that's a bit weird. There's also side quests as well. So on screen now is one of those side quests, and this basically, you touch the chest and it spawns loads of stuff. Now this would be great for a Slayer task. You can do Slayer tasks in here, and there is a specific task for you to do in here, which you collect at the store. Now what I'm going to show on screen is me doing the gold challenge, which is the hardest one. Nope, this was pre-nerf. So I was missing almost non-stop, and it was just making it even more difficult. But yeah, there's also mutators, which sort of, like, these are what these meteors and stuff on the ground is. There's also positive effects as well. As a whole, these are quite decent, I feel, and it does make it a little less monotonous. Now, one thing I want to mention is that, to be honest, this mini game is boring. It's not at first, but it gets boring quite quickly because it just takes so long to actually do. And it's basically you're clicking stuff, you're killing them, and then you're clicking more stuff. There's not actually any mechanics that you have to really deal with aside from the mutators. And I guess that's good for casual players. I feel sort of like maybe on the higher worlds with like the higher level mobs, you sort of have to be higher level. You have to be used to PVM to do some of those worlds. Those ones could use mechanics, I feel. But yeah, it's just very, very grind. Like in 12 hours of doing it, I've unlocked like a quarter of a ability, and the rewards are pretty decent. Like you can get Slayer helms, and Iron Men can actually get Slayer helms now. You can get new abilities for melee and ranged. These cost so much in the Anima store though, and it's such a long grind. The problem is, I was earning not that bad Anima. That was basically just because of the one-off bonus when you complete a world. So, my opinion on this is that it's just way too grindy. It's a bit too monotonous, especially at higher levels. It needs to be something to sort of keep the interest. But yeah, that's it for now, guys. Thank you for watching, and I will catch you next time.